Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This week's recipe is a delicious and healthy lentil soup with a dry shiitake mushroom base. About 2 weeks ago, I posted a picture of this soup on my Instagram account and noticed that people love lentils and dry shiitake mushrooms as much as I do, which is why I decided to share this very simple recipe with you. I love this soup. The mushroom base is fragrant and flavorful in a very earthy way, and lentils are really good for you, which is why it has become my go-to meal. I especially enjoy it on a chilly day and have been making this soup about once a week for the past few months. My favorite part is dressing it up with avocado, cilantro, and chopped onions. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my vegan recipes. I would truly appreciate your support. Alright, if you're interested in this healthy vegan lentil mushroom soup, let's get started. These are the dry shiitake mushrooms I will be cooking with today. I purchased them at my local Korean market. Most Asian markets will have them. In my experience, they are very common in Southern California where I live, but if they're not available where you're at, you can also find them online, like on Amazon, and there are different types of mushrooms available. Also, they come whole or sliced. I will be using both sliced and whole shiitake mushrooms for this soup. And to flavor the broth, all we have to do is blend a whole packet or half a packet if you don't want leftovers of the dry mushrooms. You can use a food processor like I did or a blender cup. Now, this is totally optional, but I like to leave bigger pieces of mushroom, as you can see, because I enjoy the meaty mushroom pieces in my soup, or if you prefer, you can just ground them into a fine powder like this. Now, we won't be using all of the mushroom powder for this recipe, but what I like to do is to store the leftovers in a mason jar and use it to season other soups or stir fries for added depth and flavor. It's just nice to have around along with other spices in your pantry. To prepare our soup, we're going to need a large pot over a low-medium flame. We're going to add our lentils, which I rinse clean. These are brown lentils. You can use your favorite lentil of choice. And from my experience, some lentils do cook quicker than others. For example, red lentils. In that case, it would be best to add them later so they don't become mushy and overcooked. And now we're going to add water, and to flavor our broth, let's add garlic cloves, wedge of onion, and I usually don't add a bay leaf to the soup, but I did today and it's totally not necessary, so I probably won't be adding a bay leaf in the future. And I really do enjoy the texture of dry mushrooms, as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and add a few of those. I'm adding the slices as well as whole mushrooms. They're going to hydrate in the broth and become chewy with a meat-like texture. And this step is optional. I realize not everyone will like that. Instead, you can add fresh mushrooms or other chopped veggies of your choice. Now, let's add the mushroom powder. I know it doesn't look pretty, but just give it a few minutes. It'll cook into the broth and it'll flavor it so nicely. For now, let's cover the pot and allow it to simmer. Lentils take about 30 to 40 minutes to cook, so about halfway through I'm going to add sliced carrots and season with salt, ground cumin, and white pepper. Also my favorite, fresh cilantro. It tastes great in this soup, so be sure to add a few sprigs of cilantro. It's going to flavor the broth nicely. This is also a good time to adjust the water. If you feel that it needs to be soupier, you can add more, and as always, adjust the salt to taste. This soup will simmer for another 20 to 30 minutes. The flavors will intensify, and when the lentils are tender and the carrots have cooked through, you can turn off the flame. Also, before you serve, be sure to remove the garlic cloves and the onion wedge. And just like that, you have a delicious, healthy soup to keep you warm during this fall-winter season. The soup is natural and tastes very earthy. If you're into these flavors, you will really enjoy the simplicity of this soup. Also, you can dress it up by adding avocado, some chopped cilantro, and diced onions. It's so good. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you soon with another tasty vegan recipe.